Welcome to Ophea's Instructional Dance DVD. This DVD includes the demonstration of 2 dance lessons from the dance unit in Ophea's Secondary Health and Physical Education curriculum resources. The intention of this series is to illustrate by a model classroom effective strategies for teaching dance to students. A few tips to keep in mind when teaching dance include: keep it simple. Use very easy steps that are age and ability appropriate. Music should be current or familiar. Make sure that music is age-appropriate and free from inappropriate language or messages. Unless you have a room with mirrors accessible to you, we suggest that you face the students when teaching and have them mirror you whenever possible. When planning your unit, suggest beginning with scattered dances or dances that do not involve hand touches until the students are familiar and comfortable with the concepts and each other. At or near the end of the unit, allow students to apply the concepts and skills that they have been taught by making up their own dances and teaching those dances to others as well. And don't talk too much. Let the students learn through movement. And finally, when teaching dance, it's important to follow the Ontario Physical Education Safety Guidelines, which are available at safety.ophea.net, as well as your school board safety guidelines. On that note, let's have some fun. Let's dance. In this video, you will view a demonstration of an adaptation of the creative movement lesson, Dance Steps. This lesson is from the Creative Movement Unit in Ophea's Secondary Health and Physical Education curriculum resource. Creative movement allows students to explore movement skills, concepts, and principles in a free-flowing and open-ended manner. Now let's get started with the warm-up.
Today, we're going to warm up using an activity called Fitness Blast. Now, what are some safety considerations that we need to consider when we're moving around in a space?
Spatial awareness.
Yes, spatial awareness. What is that? Not bumping into anyone. Yes?
Using your peripheral vision.
Using your peripheral vision in order to help so that you can see people moving. I would like us to stand up and get into a circle, please.
Have students begin in a large circle. Explore walking with small steps, large steps, fast, slow, change direction, arm swings, bodies close together or apart. Students continue moving around the circle. Consider having students switching positions within the circle, moving to different sides, going around to other students. Have students move into scattered formation. While continuously moving, students listen and respond to commands. Students move around activity area, not in a circle but filling in the spaces, visualizing going into an empty room and filling it up with their presence. Commands include different movements such as under, tight, slide, splash, fall, flick, burst, etc.
We're going to discuss our learning goals for today. Could you read that, please, Elena?
Demonstrate positive, responsible, personal, and social behavior in physical activity.
Wonderful. Can you place that up on the chart?
Use and combine movement skills and movement principles while exploring creative movement.
Good. Could you place that up? Yes.
Participate regularly in physical activities, choosing a wide range of activities.
Good.
Using small group discussion, have students brainstorm relationship and social skills that will be required when performing a dance with a partner or small group. Have groups share their response. Consider recording student responses on chart paper. Share with students that these responses will be used as the success criteria for today's lesson. Refer students back to the criteria throughout the various tasks. Students will form groups of 3 or 4 and create a mini routine using the fitness blasts lasting at least 32 beats of music. The routine should consist of at least 7 different steps, last for at least 32 beats of music, last approximately 3 to 5 minutes, repeat sequence. Make use of change in direction and level. Make use of change in space, time, and energy. Create at least 2 shapes. Must have a definite ending with a 5-second hold. Allow 15 minutes for the creativity and organization, and then groups perform first draft of routine in front of peers. Half of the group perform at one time, while the other half observes, and then switch roles. This allows students to become more comfortable about performing in front of peers and begins to instill confidence in movement ability. Students may also choose to perform for one other small group. Students provide feedback for each other. Students will consider feedback received from classmates and practice the revised routine. Students will perform their revised mini-routine for another small group. Following the final performance, students will think, pair, share with their group areas of glow and grow when working with a team. What were areas that the group worked well in, glows, and what were areas that could use growth? Use cue words to have the students perform some of the following movements as a cool-down. Include slower exercises that are more sustained. Cue words could include furl, little snail getting into a small ball. Pick, picking up a pencil off the floor with your toes. Shake, like a tambourine. Melt, like the Wicked Witch in The Wizard of Oz. Bend, tree in the wind. Float, balloon. Loose, falling apart. Throughout the lesson, the teacher can assess the student's demonstration of lesson learning goals using the anecdotal recording chart available in the Teacher Resource section. For unit next steps, refer to Ophea's secondary health and physical education resources available to order at ophea.net/order. In this video, you will view a demonstration of an adaptation of the choreographed dance lesson, Move This. This lesson is from the dance unit in Ophea's secondary health and physical education curriculum resource. Choreographed dance allows students to explore movement, skills, and concepts in a directive manner as instructed by the teacher. Now let's get started with the warm-up.
What are some safety considerations that we need to consider when we're moving through space? This is a recapitulation. Yes. Spatial awareness. What else? Yes. Focus. What else? Peripheral vision.
Not bumping into anyone.
Not bumping into anyone.
Working individually, have students warm up by performing the following creative movements following your direction. Start standing. Take 8 counts to sync. Take 8 counts to recover. Repeat in 4 counts. Repeat in 2 counts twice. Prompt students to create a starting position at any level. They will respond to the following set word cues. Encourage students to perform movements using contrasting levels, direction, and pathways. The word cues include open, close, reach, swing, turn fall, roll, and recover. Reach, twist, fling, collapse, rise, run, and spin. Push, slide, stretch, drop, and walk. Have students take in 8 counts for each move, then 4, then 2.
We're going to be reviewing choreographed movement. In your squads, I'm going to ask you to rephrase the learning goals, and then you're going to write your responses on this card provided. The individual who brings up the learning goals and the rephrased learning goals will speak it in front of the class.
Put together different dance moves while trying new types of movement.
Now, learning goal number 2.
We said take part in different activities, be open and collaborate with your peers.
I really like the word collaborate. Why is that such an impressive word?
Because you're using other people's ideas within your group.
Yes, and you're being inclusive. Okay? Yes, what else?
Be respectful to your teacher.
And towards each other, right? Yes, keep going.
Some examples of different activities are swimming, soccer, track and field, and basketball.
Brilliant, thank you. Good. Third group.
We were being open-minded, being attentive, asking questions, respect your teachers and peers, positive attitude in all you do, body language, and orally too, positive and no disrespect, cooperation and collaboration.
Students will review movements from the dance. Display choreography on poster paper for student reference. Demonstrate the following movements. See choreography notes in the lesson action section for movement descriptions. Sway, clapping square, grapevine, cross jump, step pivot, walk back 4 counts, walk front 4 counts. Have students stand in scatter formation. Break down routine into manageable segments for class. The routine is arranged in counts of 8. Break it into the 8-count segments and teach each segment and then add on as the class learns the routine. Practice with no music and then with music. Post key steps on chart paper so the class can follow. This dance can be modified to be used with different music. After learning hip-hop sway, have pairs of students experiment with different formations and movements to modify the dance into a partner routine. Students can perform different movements in sequence, in opposition, or synchronized with a partner. Once completed, have partners share their routine with another group or consider having half of the class perform at a time. Students should provide each other feedback, highlight areas of strength or glows, and areas that can use further improvement, grows. Assign 2 students to be it. Remind students that a tag is a touch on the shoulder. Students begin traveling around the activity area and freeze in a static position when tagged. Encourage the students who are traveling to use different pathways and to travel around the static students. Encourage students to experiment with various static positions such as varying levels, balances, and open and closed positions. Instruct students to unfreeze students by going under, over, around, or through. Throughout the lesson, the teacher can assess the student's demonstration of lesson learning goals using the anecdotal recording chart available in the Teacher Resource section. For unit next steps, refer to Ophea's secondary health and physical education resources available to order at ophea.net/order.